Today I'm going to talk about what is an alternative business. In talking to so many people, which we all do, right? Because we're constantly networking and meeting new people. I call myself an alternative business engineer. So, what's that? An alternative business to me is when someone's taking who they are as a person and dovetailing it with what they do professionally. So, regardless of what you do professionally, I don't care if you're a doctor, a financial planner, a website designer, a coach, a light worker, whatever that is for you, but to really come from a very authentic place. So many times I see, well, let me back up a little bit. So, my background is in not for profit management. That's where I came from in a strategic world. And like many of you that follow us here in the Natural Life Business Partnership, you've come from a corporate world or have a very logical mindset set in science or, that like what I call like a right-brained kind of person. And somewhere along your path, you started to awaken or you started to feel like this corporate ladder that you climbed didn't feel good to you. You've reached a point, mostly we find midlife, but it seems to be getting much younger these last few years. But they are following a corporate path, and all of a sudden they're like, this just doesn't make my heart sing. This doesn't bring me joy. I'm not passionate about it. I may work hard. I may even like my profession, but there's a piece of it missing, or it's not feeling very authentic and true to who I am. Does that sound like you? My personal story is as a not-for-profit executive, I was raising money for hospitals and universities, and at one time a special needs school. And although I loved fundraising and loved being in the not-for-profit world, it wasn't always the cause. I didn't feel very attached to it, if that makes sense. Sometimes I did. And I never worked for anything I didn't believe in. So it wasn't like false to me. But what happened was a few years back, I worked for an organization that just truly made my heart sing. I woke up every day and I couldn't wait to get to work. I just absolutely loved what I did. I loved the people I was with. I loved the cause. I loved being in Washington. I loved everything about it. But along that path, I also met people like me. So it allowed me to be so authentic in who I was. It allowed me to bring my corporate life and my personal values and dovetail them together. So I could tell people, I have a spiritual nature, or I live very holistically, I eat organic food, I care for my body, I do all of these other things, but I talk in a way of the universe. I have spirit that guides me. I have all of these other things that I'm not normally bringing up at a board meeting, if that makes sense. I'm not telling the everyday person. And in that last position, I was able to dovetail exactly who I was authentically. I could have really deep discussions about repairing the world or eating healthy or what I believed was balance for me or my family or my belief system, the universe, the stars, the, spirits, so many things, even my own intuition. I could finally have those conversations and still be in my corporate role. And to me, that was making the difference. That was what made me what I call a soul professional. It made me dovetail who I was with what I did every single day. When that job ended is when I created NLBP, because I was looking for people like me. People that were in the corporate world, people that I met along the way, that ate organically. I was in the organic world. I worked on the organic label in Washington. And I met so many people that valued their body and their health and learned that food was medicine and usually followed alternative medical practices, whatever that is for them. Maybe they started eating healthy or started with acupuncture or herbal remedies or homeopathic medicine or something of that nature, right? I was working with Western doctors that started taking an interest in nutrition and started to learn how that was affecting their patients. And when I came out of that world, I was like, why don't these people know each other? Why does an acupuncturist know a pharmacist or know a farmer or know a health coach? And why didn't all these people know each other? And that's kind of the beginnings of NLBP. That was 6 years ago. Okay, so over the 6 years, we went online, we became much bigger, we became a global organization, all of that. But now I call myself an alternative business engineer. And what that is if you felt you were living these two lives, or maybe you are right now, maybe you're watching this going, oh my gosh, I think that's me. Because we do have a lot of people that follow us for a while before they understand who we are. But it's being a professional anyway. Does that make sense? Not a facade of what we think a professional should be, but that we are professional even when we dovetail our spiritual selves into that. So now I help people take whatever profession they are and help them with those limiting beliefs through a modality I call Psyche. It's an energy psychology, but it's about watching your passion and being in your passion all that time raises your vibration so you can attract that money, that love, that all that comes to you, to meaning for you for success, whatever success means for you. But when you're in that higher vibration, when you're in your lane of joy every single day, when you've created a business that brings your spiritual self and your professional self together, that's where you are in your zone of genius. That's where you are creating something that so reflects who you authentically are. I call it alternative business because it's a little unconventional. We had a meet and greet the other day where someone said, I'm just weird and I'm looking for my weird partner. And I was like, well, we don't use the word weird, but someone else mentioned unconventional. I use alternative. There's probably a lot of other words out there, but to me, it's soul. For a while, as we're going through a rebranding right now, we talked about, is it just consciousness? Is it a conscious entrepreneur? Is it a mission-driven person? What is that? And truth to me is soul was such a part of it. Soul comes more from the heart, but it's your inner being. It's your value system. It's what you believe in every single day when you go home, that you're still that same person. And that's the important thing about an alternative business, that it's dovetailed into your life. It's part of your lifestyle. So if you're like me, I help people strategize their business, right? I do the structure of it. What does that look like for you? And we always start with their ultimate dream. What is your ultimate dream? What do you want to look like? What does your life look like in 5 years, in 10 years? Where do you want to be? What do you have around you? What are you hearing people saying? What does it feel like in that moment? And creating that life right now, because why wait 5 years? Create that life right now that just makes you bubble up inside, brings you joy all the time. Because when you're sitting in that vibration of love and happiness and joy and working in your passion, the money just comes to you. And sometimes we need to work on, if I'm working in service, do I deserve that kind of money and pricing? And that all comes up with it. And that's some of the things I help with. But this is really about what is an alternative business. An alternative business to me, when I say I'm an engineer, alternative business is when you so have dovetailed who you are with what you do. I believe it's this paradigm shift happening about this new entrepreneur, this new business professional, this new evolution of changing how we think things should be, right? I think the idea of what a professional is captured from decades and decades ago when we lived in this corporate world with the white shirt and the blue tie and the jackets. And I literally worked for a corporation that wouldn't allow women to wear pants. That was in my 20s. And I was like, this does not feel good to me. This is not who I am. So now I only wear pants, right? So probably because that was imprinted as something that didn't feel good right now. But that's what alternative business is. It's about being so authentic in who you are, and then being around people that believe in you and support you and love you exactly the way you've designed it. What made me think about this, one, I'm talking about it all the time, but two, as we go through this holiday season, we've just celebrated Thanksgiving here in the United States where I am. And I'm actually starting to decorate for Christmas. I'm looking around right now. It's snowing outside. And I'm like, wow, so many times the holidays are so hard for people, especially if you're an alternative business owner, because you're going to these holiday functions and you may not feel really good and comfortable telling people what you're doing for a living, or you leave out a little piece like, yeah, I'm a CPA. But I'm not, you don't say, well, I'm a spiritual CPA, or I worked with heart-centered businesses, or, I believe that there's more to the bottom line, or I help people with their giving. It's kind of coming, or their money problems, it's coming from that different space. And do you share who you are, or are you hiding a piece of who you are? If you're hiding, or you're still hiding a piece of who you are, you're probably in an alternative business or want to somehow dovetail that together. It should all come together and feel good, and you should be in this higher vibration all the time. At NLBP, we always say we live in a higher vibration, we do business differently, and we're here to repair the world. If that's you, let us know. If you're watching this on replay, let me know replay. If you'd like to learn more about an alternative business, please reach out. And at NLBP, we have free meet and greets twice a month for different time zones. One is in the morning Eastern time, one is in the evening Eastern time. So everyone can join us and just see if we're your people. It's really a professional community about support and love and honoring whatever your profession is, and knowing that every single person that is a member of this community and in our directory also adheres to a set of values about being happy, living in a higher vibration, being conscious, being supportive, being in service over competition. They're not hand jabbing you with business cards. It's a very different way of honoring your professionalism. So if you want more information, let me know. You can also just write information below and someone will reach out to you. I thank you for being a part of our Tuesday training and look forward to talking to you soon. If you guys have any comments about your own alternative business, I'd love to hear what you do. One of the beautiful things about my position is I get to see how people are creating these amazing positions and jobs for themselves that is so uniquely designed for them. And I love seeing what everyone does. So if you have a uniquely designed business, drop the link for everyone to see it below. I would love to see what that is. And if you want to hear more about us, just write information in the comments and we will get an invite to you for our meet and greet. You have a lovely day and I hope to see you all soon. Bye-bye.